You're teaching your silent capital rules. Tell me something I don't know. Man, I put in the game in the right big blues. Tell me something I don't know. Man, I put it on go for the training crews. Tell me something I don't know. And man, stand by your side, cause you got the juice. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. No, no. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know.
Dexter Hastings here for bbcolin.com. I'm here with, finally, the British light heavyweight champion, Shakan Pitters.
Yes,
Shak, welcome to Fightden, mate. Right, so we'll start off with your fight against Sugden. To me, you didn't put a foot wrong, but how did it go for you?
Yeah, it went according to how I knew we can box, how I knew I can box, and everything went the way we planned it, really. We boxed for our strengths. Against obviously, he's a tough opponent. He's proven that against other people or whatever, and he's coming from a fighting background. But I just knew just what I've got and what I put, the skills and everything and my abilities would have been too much for him on the night, which I did say. But it went to how I planned it. Yeah.
Well, do you know what? Everyone knows, like you're freakishly big for the weight, which fair play to you. You know how to get down to that weight. The jab was the key. Yeah. And I think, in my opinion, from round 3, I honestly thought he'd run out of ideas, and he was like, "What do I do?"
Yeah, I think I caught him with a big shot in round 2. And
when you've done his lip,
yeah. I think I caught him with a big shot in round 2, and I think that kind of, took him, had him thinking a lot, because it's like every time he came in, he was going to get clipped. Every time he tried to do something, he was going to get clipped. And again, it was just me. I didn't have to adjust or change anything, what we had to do, because what I was doing was already working. So.
Yeah, the one thing, the one shot that you threw, the one that done his lip, and then you got him right at the end of the third with the same one. It was like, you threw the jab, he stepped in, and then you stepped back with the uppercut. Yeah. Wicked, I will be nicking that. Do not think I'll be able to do it as good as that, but that was a shot and a half. I wish I'd have seen it 10 years ago. I might have done something different. You know what I mean?
It was like, for me, I just realised, I noticed quite early that when he was throwing his shots, he was leaning, and especially with the jab, he's trying to, throw a jab and take his head off the point, so I'd miss with mine so he can get inside. So I realised that quite quick. I just knew that, if I just threw a couple of shots what I was doing, then just changed it to an uppercut, then he wouldn't have really seen it coming. That's what I done.
Well, do you know what, mate? It was wicked, and I was just, every time I seen it, I was like, oh, God, mate. Yeah. I felt bad for him, and I'm not being. You could see he's a good boxer to get where he was. He has to be a good boxer, and you made him look quite ordinary. You made him look like that was on the Tommy Owens show when you were just fighting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not trying to be horrible. That's
no, it's cool. If you can make a fight easier for yourself, then that's what we're all in it to do. We all train hard to try and make our fights easier. And like I said, I'm good at working out my opponents quick and adjusting to who's in front of me. So I believe that's a good strength I do have. And like I said, he's a tough opponent, not taking nothing away from him. And I'm sure he'll probably come back.
Oh no, definitely. You know what? It was just your style. Yeah. Just was no good for him. You know what I mean? And honestly, I can't see your style being good for a lot of people, especially on the domestic level. Yeah. Right? I seen your chat with John Pegg on Insta. Yeah. You know what I mean? Where you admitted that then 2 rounds was the whole thing. You know what I mean? But we'll leave that for now. You know what I mean? But John was talking about you trying to win the British title outright by the time before you're 32, because you're 31 now. Yeah. Have you got your next fight lined up with Hennessy? Because you signed with Hennessy now, right?
We've spoke over some potential dates, so these potential dates are before the year's out. So hopefully we could get things out there a bit sooner, so people know a bit more. But obviously I've Craig, which is the mandatory, so that's been rightfully put to himself. For him to be the first defence, which we're obviously more than happy to give him, and we'll take it from there, really.
So is Richards the one that you'd like?
It doesn't matter who I'd like or want, to be honest. He's just the one who's the mandatory. The board's giving the mandatory, so he's our mandatory defence. But if not, and he's going a different route or whatever it may be, then we'll just focus on someone else who's obviously high up in the rankings as well, and see if we make a defence against someone else who's a credible opponent too.
Well, do you know what? I've been looking. I've been having a bit, and I'm no matchmaker or nothing, but I would think that the Commonwealth on top of that would look fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's a good boxer, Lyndon Arthur.
Yeah, Lyndon Arthur.
Arthur.
Yeah, he's a good boxer, and I'm sure probably further down the line that's something which will be ahead. You know what I mean? I don't shy away from fights, but again, I'll leave the matchmaking to Mick Hennessy and everyone else, and we'll see. Like, I do want obviously more bouts. That's a nice bout. I'd like that bout for sure.
You'd be like Brad Foster then. There'd be two
bouts, man. Yeah, it's a good bout, man. But we'll see. Like I said, I always say I'm always going to focus on one fight at a time. I'm not going to look ahead of anyone. Whoever's obviously so far, Richard's the mandatory challenger. So again, I'll be in the gym focusing on myself for that potential fight for that day. I'm not thinking about any other fighter or anything else until we get change of opponents or hear anything different. Then obviously my focus is obviously on Richards. I always focus one fight at a time. I don't look ahead or anything. I never have in my career. So that's what I remain to do.
Right. So you're looking to defend it, hopefully against Richards, and are you looking to get a mandatory in this year?
For me, it don't even matter if it is Richards. I'm just looking to defend it.
Yeah,
I don't. My career ain't determined on Richards anyway.
Yeah.
But whenever we get the mandatory out the way or the voluntary, it don't matter. Obviously, I've got to defend it either way, and we'll be looking at someone who's decent who we could defend against as well. Because I want to be in good fights.
Yeah.
I want to be in good fights, and I think I'm only getting better, and I'm confident in my game that I can win against anyone.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate. I've watched you from day one, and there's only been a few fights that I haven't been at, and that was the Ultimate Boxer, and your Spellman, and your last fight when you won the British title. But I've been at all the ones at Tommy Owens, when you fought on the Khan fight at the NIA. You know what I mean? And I can honestly say you have progressed.
Yeah.
Basically, exactly how our first interview went. You said this is what you want to do, and you're probably a year ahead of where you wanted to be. You know what I mean? I've raved on about you. You know what I mean? I've got to say, right, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass, but you're probably one of my favourite fighters at the moment. You know
I appreciate it, man.
And that's the God's honest truth. Not just in Birmingham, as if anyone goes to me, but Shakan Pitters. You know what I mean? It's just
thank you, man.
Honestly, I've followed your career from the start, and it was an honour to actually get to interview you before you were even a pro.
Yeah, I know. You was my first interview. I say that all the time. You was my very first interview, but. Like I said, each time we're in the gym and that, man, we always just want to keep improving. My mindset is to keep improving, keep getting better. I'm in a competitive division where everyone's going to want to, especially now I've got the belt, they're going to want to take a shot at me and aim at me, so I've got to keep getting better, keep improving. I've got a decent ranking, and I want to fight to keep, to progress in the ranking, keep, fight for this bout and keep this bout and fight for more bouts. So
is the main goal at the moment outright?
It depends. Like for me, so me as a boxer, I'd like to win it outright. But at the same time, I do understand that something big can come up, being a British champion. Like you only got to look at, for example, Jason Wildborn. Yeah. But again, we'd only take fights we believe are right for us. You know what I mean? I'm not going to rush into anything. I understand as well, and that I'm still learning on the job. But big things can come up through having the British title. So of course, if we was to have enough notice with things, because I'm far from having a journeyman mentality. Like I'd want a full camp and I'd want things good. But if there's a right opportunity out there, which is a big opportunity, then of course we consider that. But the main goal, I think, for myself and my team right now is just defending the belt. And again, it start with my first one, then I think about the second one, then the third one. I can't look ahead of that, Yeah. So that's what I'll always do. I'll always remain. So I'll defend it for the first time, hopefully before the year's out, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, that's brilliant, Shaq. Also, when you were talking to John Pegg on Instagram, you talked about multiple weight champion, right? And I had the same feeling as you of, yeah, do you know what? Shaq at his height, you know what I mean, bulks up a bit, like, because you fought at cruiserweight anyway. But,
I started at cruiserweight, but
it's a big jump.
It is a big jump for me. I mean, I was giving up a lot of weight at cruiserweight, and that's me without even trying to diet
like you're
much.
walking round weight,
Yeah. So a lot of these cruiserweights are coming down from heavyweight in a way. They're coming down, and like me, they're like heavyweight. I come down to make light heavyweight, and that keeps my my attributes, my strength, and everything there. Where a lot of these cruiserweights were doing that, and obviously starting off in my career, I was fighting a lot of defensive cruiserweights, but they were still bigger than me.
Yeah.
If you go on my box record or anything, you see the weight difference. A lot of them weighed a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The weight difference was there. So who knows? We don't know. I'd like to.
But John pointed on going down to super middleweight, and I've got to say, if you could get to that 12 stone mark, boy, would you be dangerous.
Yeah, I'm not taking that away. I possibly could. You know what I mean? I possibly could, but for me, I'd still like to remain and look healthy. You know what I mean? And I'm not killing myself to get to light heavy. Obviously, to get the 12 stone mark is an extra £7 out of me. From what I'd normally come down, like what I've done 12.5 already before. So for me to come down and lose £5, it is a possibility. You know what I mean, with the day before weighing and so on. But we'll see, one step at a time.
Well, like you said, you've got this now, and do you know what?
I'm happy
the best belt in the world.
I'm happy staying in the light heavyweight division, but John would always look at me and think, could probably get something out there. That's John. He's always thinking.
Yeah, well, they've got Sam Eggerton down to welter. You know what I mean? And look what happened to him. You know what I mean? He was doing fantastic at welter. Yeah. So it's great. So how long do you think you can? Like you're 31 now, right? You're a young 31. You know what I mean? But how long do you think your career is going to go? What have you got a plan for?
Yeah, I think I can keep going. Like I said, I live the life, I live a very healthy lifestyle, and I think I can keep going for a good amount of years. I think I've probably got a good even six years.
Okay.
I believe I have.
I had it at 34, but you know what I mean?
I live a good lifestyle, but again, we take it a year at a time. A day, a fight at a time, a year at a time. I believe I've got a good 5-6 years in me, 5-6 years, but with how I'd want my career to go, I wouldn't want to stay in the game so late, and I'd want to obviously leave with all my faculties good and be successful in what I'm doing, you know what I mean? So who knows? It could even be the next couple of years.
No, you never know.
It wouldn't be a couple of years, but I've definitely got like 5-6 years in it.
Look, let's put it this way. You're a year ahead of what you look, Troy. Just think a year, maybe. So you carry on the way you go. In a year, you could be fighting for a world title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true, yeah. It's very true,
and after that, you might look like you'll have John going like, and we'll drop down to super middle now. But like you might think, do you know what? I've done everything I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like at the moment, a hell of a lot of boxers would get here and think, do you know what? Fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm in a competitive division. I know that, and not looking at anyone else, but I want to always keep improving my game. And again, I'm gonna have to defend this right, and it's all about working and improving. And I can't just focus on we're British champ. That's it now. If anything, I got to work harder now because there's so many options out there for people who are gonna wanna. These things are people's dreams from amateurs. In the program now, so people always want to take that from you, and I ain't gonna allow that. So I've got to stay on my game.
Oh, do you know what? Brilliant, mate. And do you know what? You won that, and that's brilliant.
Yeah.
But let's face it, the main thing and your whole goal in winning like a prestige belt like this was getting into the BB Column Hall of Fame.
I'm happy to be in it, man.
You are, right? And Shaq, there is your BB Column Hall of Fame. And because of your man Sugden, can you give him that, please? Because he's the coach. His contribution. You're the champ.
That's good, man. Nice. We'll get these. I'm sure we'll get some little frames on them or something.
Yeah.
I'll put them in the gym.
Put them in the gym. But while you're here, mate, I've done this for you.
Oh, mate. Papa, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right,
I'll put that
you know what I mean?
Oh, nice.
There you go, Shaq.
Thank you very much, man. Nice one, man.
Honestly, that's how much I respect you, mate. Honestly.
That's good, man.
Right. Have you got anything to say
That's good. That is.
To all your sponsors and your fans out there.
Yeah, man. Just thanks to everyone for following. Thank you to you first, because at the end of the day, you was the first one who, when no one even knew my name in boxing, you gave me the opportunity to get my name out there, voice out there to people in Birmingham. You know what I mean? It all starts from Birmingham and then on your channel, so I appreciate that. Thanks for that.
No, I appreciate that.
And everyone else, I've had loads of support and messages from a lot of people in Birmingham, even around the world, man. It's crazy, like, to think that, you know what I mean, I'm receiving messages from people from New Zealand, Australia, all kind of mad countries where I probably never went. But yeah, the support's been real, but everyone just keep following my journey, and I just promise to keep delivering as I am, and I look forward to the journey.
Everyone, Shakan Pitters, Shak.
Nice one, Deck.
Well, it was great catching up with Shak after his great victory, winning the British title. Big thank you for him to come down to Fightden and see all the lads and do the interview. My opinion, the world's his oyster at the moment. I really hope he defends the title 3 times so he can win it outright. You know what I mean? Just for starters. Can see him winning the Commonwealth and the European without much trouble, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And then stepping up to world stage, because by that time he'll be ready. And if John Pegg's got anything to do with it, he can drop down to super middleweight and dominate that division, especially with the size of him. I have talked about the 2 rounds with Shak, you know what I mean, and it's just a bit of fun, really. You know what I mean? The kid's class, but them 2 rounds showed me how good the lad is. I've always been told that I'm awkward to spar, awkward to fight. I thought I'd go down there and you know what I mean, I'll be a bit awkward for Shak. You know what I mean? It'll sort him out. He worked me out in 30 seconds, and I had to turn into a journeyman trying to just get onto his chest. It was quite amusing, and but after that little encounter, which was basically him just playing around with me, I realised how good he is and how knowledgeable he is about boxing, because he worked me out. He worked out what he needed to do, and he done it. You know what I mean? I think he can do whatever he likes in boxing at the moment, and if he wants to go on for another 5-6 years, more power to him. I can see him dominating this division and the division below, and I can't wait to see him defend his British title. Yeah, and just to add that if you want to read about Shakan's great victory, it's in issue 6 of the BB Column magazine, just there. Go to bbcolumn.com, click on the magazine, and you can download it for free. All 6 issues are on there, and well worth a read. A lot of good stuff in there, so check it out.
You're teaching your son untouchable rules. Tell me something I don't know. Man, I think in the game and the right big blues. Tell me something I don't know. Man, I push on go for the training cruise. Tell me something I don't know. And man, stand by your side, cause you got the juice. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. No. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. No. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. Yo. Tell me something I don't know. Tell me something I don't know. Yo.